This is Harm City Daily, your realest source for all the DMV's craziest and most violent local news stories. Thanks for tuning in. You are going to give me my money back, and I'm going to give you freedom. These are the alleged words used by a Baltimore police sergeant while extorting and kidnapping a contractor who he'd previously hired. Charging documents filed in district court by Baltimore County Police depict the fear Luis Hernandez felt during his encounter with Sergeant James Lloyd. Hernandez started building a patio on Lloyd's Glen Oak, Maryland home that was completed around June 18th, at which point Sergeant Lloyd paid Hernandez $7,000 for a job completed and then sent him several text messages praising the craftsmanship. Man, this patio looks great. Not long after, Sergeant Lloyd called Hernandez back.
Hey, I've got some pavers that are already coming apart.
Hernandez agreed to repair them and came back to Lloyd's property to do the work. While making repairs to the patio, Lloyd's partner told Hernandez,
"On second thought, we're going to need the patio much bigger."
Hernandez said that this was possible and agreed to expand the patio for an additional $1,400. I'll see when I can get my subcontractor out here. On June 25th, Hernandez returned to start working on expanding the patio when Lloyd approached him saying, "We have problems," and asking for Hernandez to give him his contract. The contract for the original patio? Sergeant Lloyd then demanded that Hernandez produce his driver's license. Hernandez asked why, but Sergeant Lloyd reportedly didn't answer and just flashed his Baltimore police badge. Hernandez complied out of fear. Then Lloyd took a picture of his license and didn't give it back. Court papers say Lloyd then pulled out a folder with a picture of Hernandez, asking if it was him in the photo. "Is that you?" Hernandez said yes, that it was, at which point Sergeant Lloyd allegedly informed him that his license was suspended over child support. Lloyd then allegedly threatened to arrest Hernandez for driving to his home on a suspended license. "How would you like to go to jail?" At which point, Hernandez reported seeing a Spanish-speaking officer in a suit with his badge showing. Hernandez could see that both officers had a gun inside of their jackets. Lloyd then asked Hernandez who was going to be doing the work on his patio. Hernandez replied that he had been trying to get in contact with the subcontractor, but he hadn't heard back yet. "You can look at my phone." Hernandez then let the Hispanic officer see text messages written in Spanish between him and the subcontractor. That's when Sergeant Lloyd demanded his money back for the entire patio that Hernandez had previously built. "Look, man, refund the police." In fear of being arrested, Hernandez said that he didn't have the full $7,000, but offered to give Lloyd whatever he wanted. That's when Lloyd and the other officer both agreed that $3,500 would be sufficient. At this time, 2 more officers arrived, also armed and showing badges. The group of officers went to the front of Lloyd's home and began taking pictures of Hernandez's car. Lloyd is then quoted as saying, "We can solve this. Give me my money back." Again, Hernandez said he didn't have the full $7,000. Lloyd told him to write a check, but Hernandez didn't have his checkbook with him either. Lloyd then asked him where he banked, looking up its closest branch location and demanding that Hernandez accompany him there. "Get in the car." Fearing the ramifications of not obeying Sergeant Lloyd, Hernandez hesitantly got into an unmarked car. Hernandez said that he didn't want any problems, to which Lloyd replied, "A problem is taking you into the woods." Upon arriving at the bank in Glen Burnie, Hernandez took out a $3,500 cashier's check payable to James Lloyd, all while Lloyd held on to his driver's license. Lloyd took Hernandez back to his home and forced Hernandez to sign the refund receipt. Afraid to drive his own car home on a suspended license, Hernandez waited for a friend, but Lloyd told him to leave anyway and promised he wouldn't be arrested. Hernandez then went to the home of another customer who was a retired Baltimore police officer and told her exactly what happened. She told him that he needed to file a police report documenting this incident.
"This is unacceptable."
Hernandez was able to provide investigators with the business card Lloyd gave to him, as well as a cell phone number, a copy of the cashier's check, text messages between he and Lloyd, and the made-up refund receipt he was forced to sign. The text messages showed Lloyd praising Hernandez's work on the patio and verified all the financial terms Hernandez claimed the two agreed on for the job. Bank statements, surveillance footage, and subpoenaed phone records match Hernandez's version of events. When called in to speak with detectives about the allegations, Lloyd told investigators he was displeased with Hernandez's work, despite the subpoenaed text messages stating otherwise.
A Baltimore County judge denied bail for Lloyd, calling him a danger to public safety.
3 other Baltimore police officers are suspended, administratively suspended, that is, without their police powers. In relation to this case, they are all members of Lloyd's homicide squad, and Lloyd told investigators they were present the day he was dealing with the contractor over this dispute. A police spokesperson said today all 4 were on duty during the incident.